Shifting our focus to what's happening in Bangladesh. A nation swept in grief as Dhaka mourns former Prime Minister Khaleda Zia, a towering political figure in the nation's politics, who died at the age of 80 earlier today. That's after prolonged illness. BNP sources have told NDTV that Zia will be buried next to her husband and late President Zia-ur-Rahman's grave in Dhaka. Interim Chief of Bangladesh, Mohammad Yunus, has announced a 3-day national mourning. Meanwhile, world leaders have reacted to Zia's death, with Prime Minister Modi recalling their warm meeting in 2015 while recognizing her contributions to Dhaka's growth and development. Yunus has said that Bangladesh has lost its greatest guardian, and Sheikh Hasina has called it a profound loss. And well, for more on this, my colleague Ankit is now joining me live. Ankit, what is the mood like on the ground right now with anti-India sentiment rising and now the demise of Khaleda Zia, a towering political figure in Bangladesh?
That's right. Her demise today, 80-year-old former Prime Minister, 3-time Prime Minister of Bangladesh, is going to have a very big impact in the days to come, especially she dying, when Bangladesh is all set to write another chapter in its with its flirtations as far as democracy is concerned. And on 12th of February will be the general elections. And at that time, when her son has come back after 17 years, Khaleda Zia's death, on one part within the BNP, of course, a lot of sorrow. People we saw outside the hospital, old-timers who have worked with her, weeping and remembering her. But her legacy is quite complex. It's a layered legacy as far as Bangladesh is concerned. The BNP, of course, the party that she led, founded by her late husband, President and General, former President and General Zia-ur-Rahman. She would be tomorrow laid to rest right next to her husband. And it is now her son who will be taking the legacy forward. The BNP has always, been seen as a very nationalist kind of a party, which stood out in the 90s and the 2000s, her reign as taking on India, and also as a conservative party, because she made her first government with the support of the Jamaat-e-Islami. And since then, she has been, been able to do a lot of reforms as far as women are also concerned. So that's why her legacy has been very layered. At one point, it has been seen as conservative. On the other, the kind of reforms that she was able to push for women, whether it's education or, domestic violence reforms, bills that she got in. So she would be seen and remembered through the prism of a lot of complexity as far as Bangladesh is concerned. But at this moment, the government has announced a 3-day mourning. Tomorrow is going to be a public holiday. And tomorrow, this whole chapter that Bangladesh spoke about, the Battle of the Begums, one pole of the chapter would be laid to rest, with the other fleeing to India. That battle also comes to an end.
Right, Ankit, you've given us a gist of all that has happened in Bangladesh. But my question to you is that this is, of course, an end of an era in Dhaka. The Battle of Begums comes to an end. What's next for the political landscape of Bangladesh? Because we are just 2 months away from elections in Dhaka, especially at a time with Hasina not in Dhaka, with Khaleda Zia's demise, perhaps a political vacuum looming in Dhaka just around 60 odd days before polls.
Absolutely, and especially, when you talk about the left of center, liberal kind of, voices as far as the politics is concerned. Remember, Awami League is banned from fighting elections. The BNP, the Bangladesh Nationalist Party, which was formed by Zia-ur-Rahman, and then later, of course, since 84, Khaleda Zia was the chairperson of that party, has always been seen as a right of center kind of a political party at this moment, of course, with both these polls, the figures that define the politics and of the fight of democracy of Bangladesh from, ever since 1990s to 2024. This is going to be a big vacuum as far as the politics is concerned, and that now remains a big question and also a big void for Tariq Rahman, the son, the elder son of Khaleda Zia, to come and fill those that vacuum. Though right from the time he has come back from London, he has tried to strike a chord with voters from all across, even with the minorities. But it remains to be seen what shape does that take, because remember, either on both sides, whether it's Jamaat-e-Islami with the NCP, BNP also going with some factions, moderate factions as far as the radical elements are concerned. Both sides at this moment it seems to be a choice that people would be making without an alternative. NCP, the student leader, the party, centered itself, or at least projected itself to take that space of Awami League. They have also now tied up with the Jamaat-e-Islami. In that context, a big vacuum and uncertainty on what happens on February 12th when the elections in Bangladesh take place.
Right, Ankit, stay with us. You're joining us live from Dhaka, where all the actions taking place. We'll be coming back to you in just moments from now. Let's now tell you more about what Zia's death means for Bangladesh. What does this mean at a time when there's political turmoil and the country remains on edge? So number one, of course, political instability and volatility in Bangladesh. There's perhaps room right now in Dhaka for more coalitions in upcoming polls, which will take place on the 12th of February. BNP leadership shifts towards Khaleda Zia's son. We're talking about Tariq Rahman, who has returned to Dhaka after being in self-exile for 17 long years. And of course, with Khaleda Zia's demise today at the age of 80 and Hasina no more in Dhaka, all this has ended the battling Begum's era in Bangladesh. BNP also loses its unifying leader, and sympathy vote right now could perhaps consolidate BNP's voter base in Dhaka. Well, at this point of time, all eyes are on Tariq Rahman, who has stepped forward as the heir and undisputed successor of BNP. This also will perhaps put Tariq under the lens, because he will of course have to show his worth. Test of party revival will all now depend on Tariq Rahman. Can Tariq convert sentiment into votes after his mother's demise is a big question mark, and we'll wait and have to see how that pans out on the 12th of February. At this point of time, what it means for India right now, New Delhi must navigate Bangladesh without the Begums, without Khaleda Zia and without Sheikh Hasina. Let's tell you more about Tariq Rahman. My colleague Ankit, who joined us live from Dhaka, told us about Tariq Rahman, who has returned to Dhaka. Let's tell you more about Tariq Rahman and what he will be doing after his mother's demise. Now, of course, Tariq Rahman is the acting chairman of BNP. He is now positioned to lead the party's election campaign. And he has already started taking steps towards that. He has already filed nominations ahead of polls in Bangladesh. And this after his homecoming after 17 years in self-exile. He has also been acquitted from various cases that he was in. So acquittals also removed all kind of legal barriers for Tariq Rahman. The big question, of course, is will the sentiment be converted into votes? All right, we have some breaking news on this, on whatever's happening in Bangladesh right now. India's External Affairs Minister, Dr. S. Jaishankar, will be attending Khaleda Zia's funeral tomorrow in Dhaka. This at a time when India's Prime Minister Narendra Modi also shared his condolences on Khaleda Zia's demise and said that he had met Khaleda Zia in 2015, and Khaleda Zia worked towards warming ties between India and Bangladesh. But the latest coming in right now is that as Bangladesh and leaders from all across the world. They share their shower the condolences right now. India's External Affairs Minister Dr. S. Jaishankar will be attending Khaleda Zia's funeral tomorrow, which will take place in Dhaka. India has, of course, mourned Khaleda Zia's demise, and Prime Minister Modi earlier today also hailed her contributions in strengthening India-Bangladesh ties, and he also said that he's deeply saddened. Of course, Bangladesh is in a state of mourning for 3 days. That was announced by the interim leader of the country. But the latest coming in is that India's Foreign Minister, Dr. S. Jaishankar, will be traveling to Dhaka to attend Khaleda Zia's funeral.